Welcome to our next episode of our podcast, and today we are featuring four leading figures in the flower industry: Donna Cornish, Nicola Armstrong, Kerrie Raines and John Davidson. As we dive into this podcast, we're going to be discussing the rise of the Studio Florist, the importance of collaboration, networking within the community. Plus, we're going to find out a little bit about behind the scenes of the Fleur de Villas, because you do know that the girls won the most creative at the Downton Abbey Fleur de Villas over in Kew Gardens this year. They beat us. And we're also going to be talking a little bit about the role of the BFA in the UK and how wholesalers are supporting florists. So stay tuned and have a listen to this podcast. So I am absolutely in honour here this evening. I have three of the top florists in the UK with us, and we have the president. Is it the president or the chairperson of the BFA? What are you, John?
Interim chair currently.
Interim chair of the BFA. So we have Donna Cornish from Flowers by Donna. We have Nicola Armstrong from the Bloom Room in Cumbria. We have Kerrie Raines from the Flower House in Aylesbury. And we have John Davidson from Tom Brown Wholesalers, but also the interim chair of the BFA. Guys, you are so welcome here to the Flower School podcast. A little bit of different one to what I normally do, because I wouldn't normally have so many of you on the call. So look, let's just go with it and see how it goes. Listen, Donna, you're first on my screen. Tell me a little bit about you. How did you get into flowers? How did it all happen for you? And where are you now?
So I got into flowers basically through my grandparents. I used to flower arrange with one. She used to drag me around to all of the floral art groups locally, and I used to do gardening with the other. So once I got the chance to do work experience, I went off to a florist shop, and then that's where my love for it began. So I have been a florist for too many years now, and I've had my business for 16 years, and I'm in a small market town in Launceston in Cornwall.
Okay, amazing. Nicola, tell me about your introduction to flowers. How did it all start for you?
To be honest, I ask myself that same question all the time. I don't even know how I'm a florist. No, to be honest, I did my background in contemporary applied art, so I'm not a trained florist. I'm a trained designer maker. Left university, the florist in my town came to retire. I was looking for something to do, and my dad went, "You could do that," and here we are. So yeah, I always say floristry found me rather than I chose floristry. It was just a path that I got kind of pushed down. Not pushed.
Amazing. I love that. I actually love that that's where you have come from, that you're not the typically bench trained, college trained florist that you have, as some of our florists say, the accidental florist wasn't really the path you were going to take. Yeah. You're based in Cumbria.
I am, yes.
And is it a studio or a flower shop?
A flower shop in a very small town just on the outskirts of the Lake District.
Super, brilliant. And Kerrie, tell me a little bit about your introductory into the flower industry.
Yeah, so my parents got their first flower shop when I was 10 years old. So I kind of went from there, really. So when I left school, I started working with them, went to college. They opened up another shop. So I run one of their businesses for them, their second shop. And then after I had my children, because I lived so far away, the journey was just too much. So I started up my own studio, going into 10 years next year. So yeah, it's been a great journey, really.
So probably a bit like myself and Donna and yourself, Kerrie, we were just dragged into a kicking and screaming. We had no choice. Like, we were told we had to go to work in the shop, whether you wanted to or not. Yeah. And John, how did that all come about for you, like the flower industry?
Similar in that I was born into it. My mum's a florist. Obviously, my uncle is Tom Brown. I worked with both of them during the summer holidays at school, but probably unlike everyone else, I then went and looked at a career in investment banking. So I spent 18 years in the city of London working for some of the largest European investment banks, trading stocks and shares. And when that came to an end, I was asked back into the family business for some reason.
And so are you a florist as well then?
Not a florist, no. My mum used to have me bunching up and stripping and stuff like that. That was just helping on her flower stall, really. Usually Christmas times. No, not creative at all, apart from creative accountancy. That's about it.
Creative accountancy, I love it. It's actually funny because with us in the flower school over the years, nurses and accountants are the biggest career change into floristry that we have found. So we would get mostly people coming to us, and has been for 38 years, for career change, rather than, we don't really get the apprentice type of florist. It's always career change, and accountancy and nursing are the two. I think they get burnt out or bored with numbers, that they are the ones that move over into floristry. What's the biggest difference, what people think about floristry? I'm going to ask Donna this. So what the reality versus what people think, the Instagram reality, if you want to call it, what do you think people see the difference being with floristry?
I think a lot of people see you at playing with flowers, when basically it's very cold, there's lots of dirty water, heavy lifting, and perhaps not as pleasant as people think. And I think a lot of it is, you're not just arranging the flowers for people, there is a lot to do beside that. So it's an all-round job. You know, you have to even be an accountant, you have to do all your own social media marketing. As I work for myself, I generally have to do everything. So it's a very full-on job, rather than just, oh, Donna, they look so beautiful today. I can't actually smell the flowers in the shop anymore. I've been here that long. But yeah, it's lovely when the customers come in and say, oh, it smells beautiful in here today, Donna, because I just can't smell it.
You just don't. Yeah, it is funny.
Yeah, immediately.
Kerrie, for you, who has moved from retail into studio, what do you see the difference in how people see you as a florist, or see the floral industry? How do you find that?
Well, I found it quite tricky to start with. I think it was more of my problem rather than the customer problem, because my background has been retail and I have always been a shop girl. Going from working from a studio from home, I found it quite tricky. When people used to come and collect flowers, for instance, I was always kind of making an excuse for my workspace, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's always had everyone's been really positive. So I think it's more of a me thing rather than a customer thing. I think
Do you think that has changed, Kerrie, in the last couple of years? Maybe since like the pandemic, do you think that has changed?
Yeah, I was just about to say, absolutely. Since COVID, and a lot of people now accept more working from home, more people more accepting that you have your business from home. So I don't have that as much as I used to when I first set up, for sure.
Yeah. And I do think, because I think that kitchen sink florist was classed as the studio florist, and I don't think they were taken as seriously in the
No.
past in comparison to now. And I think, as you rightly say, since it's now more acceptable that you work from home, and I used to, like, in my past life, I was born into flowers, didn't want to be a florist, had nothing to do with flowers, wanted nice nails, wanted nice hands, and I went and did beauty therapy, and I had a beauty salon for years. And then when I gave up the salon, I went training. But I used to do nixers, for want of a better word. And I hated that word, because I actually felt you weren't given less of a service because you were freelancing to somebody's house,
Yeah.
as that you're actually offering a better service. And I do think with studio florists, I think it's now been embraced a little bit more. And I think actually within the industry more so than even with the public. I think that it's now been more, I don't know what the word is, but accepted, or
Yeah, but definitely, I think it has been a little bit more accepted. And I think from my point of view, I get it. I get the reason why florists and florist shops, and it had that stigma to it. I mean, I was living it for like 20 odd years, so I know. So from going from that into into working from home, I was always conscious of the stigma behind it. But like you rightly say, it has relaxed a lot. A lot more people can't afford to go into spaces anymore. I mean, I look at shops all the time to go into, and I just couldn't afford to. So there
yeah.
is that element of it as well. So yeah, I do think it has eased a lot. I don't have so much of a stigma for myself, or feel embarrassed that I'm working from a home studio anymore. So I think that's definitely a positive.
Yeah, and I do love the fact that they have put a home studio, or even not even a home studio, a studio florist, rather than a home florist, or working from their home, or I think that it just gives you that little bit that you are of the same caliber as somebody on a high street, so that it makes absolutely no difference. So your prices shouldn't be different to anybody else's.
Yeah.
Nicola, what's the biggest challenge, I suppose, you have found with running a business, working with flowers? So obviously you came into it from a completely different angle. So what has been your biggest challenge to date?
probably my own confidence. I think because I'm not a trained florist, I kind of use
Stop
that as
saying that.
But I'm trained. I'm trained as a designer, so I've got the training, I've got the eye, I've got that side of it. But the actual knowledge of the flowers and all that kind of side that you would learn in a traditional course, because I didn't have that, my own doubt kind of built myself up a wall. So I would automatically go to everybody, I'm not a trained florist, because that was my kind of defense mechanism. So yeah, I think that's been my biggest hurdle, is my own confidence, putting my own confidence in myself to say, actually, I am a florist. It's just I've changed my media. So where I would work, my course was multidisciplinary. I've just chosen flowers as my media.
Yeah. And I would hope after the last couple of months, we will talk more about that shortly, that you have got more confident in that you are a skilled artist in what you do and your medium being flowers, because what you have been doing, but all of you have been doing, but because you keep saying to me, I'm not a trained florist, you know, like you are so skillful, and I have seen you demonstrate, I have seen what you have produced. And if you're not a skilled florist, well, we're all fecked.
It's definitely, it was a defense mechanism to begin with, just because I felt like if I said it, nobody then had the grounds to say it. So it was kind of a deflective thing that I've had to learn to stop doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's like my studio florist thing.
Say that again?
That's like my studio florist thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? Maybe as creatives, we are always doubting ourselves. And like we had a student today and she had done some phenomenal work. And obviously, you know, our stuff is all online. So we're getting pictures of what they're doing. And she's like, yeah, but I'm looking at somebody else's and it's better. And it's like, there's always going to be somebody that you think is better than you. The bottom line is who's making the most money, you know, and that is, as much as we love flowers, we do love money too. So, and look at guys, we get it too, because we are not on the framework. We're not on QQI. We don't do City and Guilds. We're not doing that. Like, we have been training in a completely different way. And probably since COVID, we have disrupted the whole training industry by going online and doing what we're doing. But I don't think we're producing any florists less skilled than anywhere else that's out there. And we're confident in that they are good florists too, and are well able to go out there and be on par with any other florist. John, as a wholesaler, what is the most fascinating part of being in wholesale? Like, is it meeting the growers, the breeders? I know we were in Holland there recently and we met breeders, and that was a mind opening thing for us. It was just, we'd been to growers, but we'd never been to breeders, and we're like, oh wow. And as a whole, I know I'm asking you loads of questions, but as a wholesaler, how do you choose what you're going to get in? Is it the florists that tell you? Tell us a little bit about that, the background in wholesale.
So we're always looking for new products, the best growers. Definitely where I work, Tom Brown's, we try and look at the higher end of what we try and do. So we're always looking for the best of everything. And that's probably the most exciting thing. That's ongoing, literally ongoing. Most months we find a new product, a new grower, something exciting to look at. And then it's really about the logistics of how we're actually going to make it work. How are we going to get it into the UK? Is it going to sell? Will the florists enjoy it?
And how do you know, like, so you bring in something and test it and say, yeah, look at there, or like, how many failures has there been? Has there been a lot of stuff that you brought in and sort of like, oh, feck it, that didn't sell, or that was a disaster, or?
Well, obviously, my brain is more data driven. So when I first started at my uncle's, I used to produce a spreadsheet every week of what we'd wasted that week. And I'd produce. So I had a database of what wasn't selling. And my uncle clearly said to me, why do you keep on doing that? If I'm liking it, I'm buying it. He said, I don't care if it goes in the bin. I don't care what we do with it. I think it's pretty. So we're having it in stock. And pretty much
I think is that a bit the same for all of our florists when we go into a wholesaler and you see something, you're like, I'm going to take it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even look at the price sometimes. I just pick it up.
I know.
You're my kind of customer, Kerrie.
Did you say, John?
You're my kind of customer.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Absolutely. And if we had customers, retail customers of that same attitude, and we do, there are those customers out there that actually don't ask price. And last night, actually, on the webinar that we did, and it was all about putting yourself out there, they the conclusion that was come to was put your prices up there. Don't sort of have up a fabulous arrangement or fabulous bouquet and DM me for a price. The girl, the expert that we had on, Denise, was saying, she says, once you make that double click, people won't go any further. That put the price up there and don't assume because you can't afford it that they can't afford it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You know,
Okay.
a little bit on the BFA. So we've obviously met through a lot of the BFA, and this is how I suppose we connected, which I think is amazing.
yeah.
They have ran exhibitions and shows and stuff like that, and like it's been just fantastic. I'll ask you, Donna, how has the BFA helped you as a florist on your pathway in your business and in your skills and everything else?
For me, it's been a huge support over the years. I joined when I opened my shop as a member, and over the years, John's not heard me mention it before, that I've won Retail Florist Shop of the Year twice in a row. You're noisy when I say that. And to win that award throughout the whole of the UK, when you're a small florist in such a small area of the UK, it's a really lovely achievement to bring back to your customers. And the social media and the promotion that I got from that with the BFA has been phenomenal. And following winning 2 years, I was then able to judge the awards, which was a real honour. And the year that I judged, Nicola then won the retail award. So that was lovely.
Well done.
And then thereafter, I had the opportunity to become retail director for them. So I thought, why not? Let's go for it. I'd actually really love to support the industry. Having been in it a long time, it's been really lovely to give something back to the industry and support other florists. So over the last couple of years, I joined at the same time as John. Was it October 23, John, we joined?
Yeah.
And then, so we went to our first Florex just to see what everything was about as directors. And then the last couple of years, we've been more heavily involved at helping organise the show and put it together. So it's been really lovely to bring together the florists and give something back. And then with our Fleur de Vils thing, it was a real honour to, as retail director, to help have a team together of our members and then go on and do so well. So it's been really lovely journey.
And we will come back to the BFA, but you have mentioned the Fleur de Ville now. Tell me a little bit about that. I'll ask you, Karen or Kerrie, how did that all come about? Like, what was the first discussions on that and the hours? And tell us a little bit how it all came about.
Well, John approached me to see if I was interested in doing it. I obviously was, I think the blood drained from my face when he messaged me because I've actually followed Fleur de Ville since 2019. So that was the first time that I came across the company and went to their exhibition in Covent Garden. And I was going there to view florists that I inspire to. So to have that message from John asking if I wanted to be involved, once I got over the shock, I thought I can't say no. There's no way I can say no to this. So yes, and then obviously Nicola was involved and Donna. So we became a team under the BFA umbrella. And because I knew about the Fleur de Vils before, the other two didn't know what it was all about. So I was kind of saying to them, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. And they're just like, what? I don't really understand what you're saying. No, this is really a big deal. So once we kind of did the research and stuff, there was a lot of hours, there was a lot of Zoom calls, there's a lot of messages. We've still got a WhatsApp group now. I kind of miss it really. So we still do a few messages on it. So yes, John was a great support from the get-go as well. And we just came together as a team. Obviously, they gave us the theme as Lady Violet and Lady Isabel Crawley. And we just threw some ideas together and just created it and had the most amazing experience. It
really was like, and if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm actually going to slot in some photographs in here of their finished mannequins. They were just phenomenal, to the point that they actually won the creative category. We came runners up, but they did win it, and I wouldn't begrudge them because, oh my God, the hours. And we laugh because like we got invited a week or 10 days beforehand to go over to help Jan do, what was the name, Thomas Barrow, and the Jack and Rose out in the boat. But yeah, like the hours and hours of work and design that went into that was just.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I mean, we really did enjoy it. I didn't sleep the night before, so when they announced that we won the most creative, I'd literally just burst into tears, hugged Nicola and Donna, and just was like, "Yeah, we fucking did it." So,
but you know what? Isn't it like,
great.
even without winning it, obviously winning was the icing on the cake. But Nicola, for your business, and Donna as well, and Kerrie, like that has to been a huge PR opportunity for you as well. And because I know you've brought it to Florex as well on a much smaller scale to Florex. But how did it make a difference in your business, Nicola?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the town I live in is so small. My community has completely backed me from day one, which is why I've managed to get as far as I've got. But I mean, they thought people were coming in the shop and they were like, "You're famous, you're famous," because we got featured in the Times, and the picture they chose was my mush in the Times. I mean, who would have ever thought it? So to come back to my community with that level of exposure, the fact that we were in Kew Gardens, it was all based around Downton Abbey. The movie had just been released. Everybody's a huge fan. I wasn't at the time, never seen an episode. Now I'm a huge fan. I'm still only on about series 4 though. I've got so much to catch up on, but I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, to bring that back to the town, to say we'd won, to just be a part of it. When I announced I was a part of it, the support I got before I'd even left the town was huge. So to come back as winners, being in the Times was just
incredible.
Another level. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And Donna, like obviously then, because you are the retail, the retail ambassador for the BFA, it must be a huge, I suppose, achievement for the BFA as well to have put this team forward and have created something so spectacular and won it. Like,
yeah, we were so proud. So just, it was so lovely as director to be able to, one, be involved, but to have two lovely ladies to work with as well. And then just the whole experience was phenomenal. But to be able to then hopefully continue leading the industry of our retail florists, we hope that we can offer more of these opportunities to our members in the future, because we know how much it has given the three of us. To be able to then hopefully in the future offer that to more of our members as we evolve will be really amazing.
Amazing. And that is the good thing of being part of an organisation like this. Maybe the BFA will set up their own Fleur de Villa similar sort of setup. What do you think, John? No pressure.
I'm just getting over this one.
But so tell me, John, as interim chair, what is the main goal or the main mission of the BFA at the moment? Like, what are you really trying to help florists with?
I think at the moment the BFA's gone for a big time of change, and I think maybe sometimes we haven't looked at our members enough. So what I'm going to try and do is kind of create like a collaboration between florists, growers, wholesalers, where we all just come together as a group. I think it's really important, you know. I've always believed that no one's successful unless we're all successful. And this industry is a big industry, and there's room for absolutely all of us. And I think if we support each other a little bit more, you know, we shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting, you know, the other gift people out there that are in our space, you know. So I'm just going to try and create something that's more collaborative, more giving to the florists, trying to make their life a little bit easier. Yeah, kind of that's what my goal is, to see how successful
I love it. I absolutely, because that has been our ethos here in Caius Flower School for years and I suppose like florists that train with us normally go and work experience of florists that have trained with us, whose florists have trained with us, and it has literally it's been a step down all the way, and we always find our past florists have been so supportive to new people coming into the industry, probably because we are too. And I do think if it comes from the top, well then it's more accepted and it more happens, and it's a bit like monkey see monkey do. If people see that you guys are supporting the small Cumbrian florist in the middle of nowhere, which I presume Cumbria is, I haven't a clue, don't even know where it is on the map, but for to do something like that for Nicola or for Kerrie or for Donna, that it could be any florist anywhere in the UK or probably Ireland that can get those opportunities, and I think that's really key. And I do think what you said there is like working together. One of our new mottos is work as an industry, not as an individual, because together we grow, as the song goes. Um, Kerrie, like for you being part of the BFA, how, and forget about Fleur de Ville, but like what else has it brought to you in your business?
Well, I'm quite a newbie as a member of the BFA, but it's given me lots of opportunities over just literally the last few months. So I was asked to demonstrate at Florex this year. So that was great. That was my first time. I really, really enjoyed it. I have lots of support as well. A meeting. I think the most important thing is for me as well is being involved in Florex is meeting lots of people in the industry that you wouldn't normally come across, you know, day to day. It's very lonely when you're working on your own. So having that community of florists, meeting new florists and being inspired by them through demonstrations or just by talking to them, seeing new, you know, products, new flower varieties, that kind of thing is just key, and it's been great. It's been a great experience so far as a newbie to the BFA.
And I have to say, like we this year, Florex blew us away.
Yeah.
Absolutely blew us away. We were so impressed. Because we actually blew us away literally because we couldn't get out the night beforehand because of the storms. Excuse the pun.
Yeah. We were still working when you turned up.
That's it. Yeah. But like it really was. And I would just love to see more people support it. How can you pull more? How can you show the value or to get people more involved in those type of, we don't have anything like that here in Ireland, and we did have quite a few flowers fly over for Florex, and we're still trying to encourage them to, you know, go to these events, meet the growers, meet the florists, meet the wholesalers. Have you any tips on how to embrace that even more? Anyone?
I think my experience when I first joined the BFA, I was a member a long time before I actually went to the Florex event. So I was intimidated, like Kerrie said, when you work on your own, it's very lonely and you haven't got that connection. So it's just being brave enough to make that initial connection. The very first year I attended was only because I'd been nominated for the award, which happened to win. But I actually didn't attend the event. I was there during the day. And I didn't go into the event because I was so intimidated by everybody there and I thought everybody knew everybody. So I think it's just having that courage, or the personal, I feel like if I approached maybe a florist that had never been before and went, come along and explained it, I think the personal touch maybe is what will pull people in, because I was one that was intimidated.
And I think you're so right there, because like even for us, like we get intimidated. Like when we were initially invited over to America, we were like, what could we teach them over there? Like, you know, we were like, why would they want us? You know? Yeah. And everyone has that imposter syndrome, I suppose, sort of like somebody's better than you. And at the end of the day, as I'd say, we all fart the same way. Doesn't make any difference, you know? So maybe, I don't know, meet and greets, or maybe have sort of somebody allocated to networking, introducing people. It's funny, actually, I got an email yesterday from a florist in the UK, and she'd got one of our emails. She'd obviously signed up to something, and she was like, oh, I saw you at Florex, and I was too shy to go over. And she sent us photographs that she took of us, not with her at Florex, but she was too shy to come over to talk to us. I'm like, we're just ordinary people. And I just think that's sort of and she was actually where we were sitting. I knew exactly where she was sitting when I saw the photograph. You know, we had stopped to have a cup of tea, and I was like, it's a shame, like, to try and pull people in and sort of say, we are normal, we're just normal people, and we want to encourage you. Do you think, I do think you guys and John, you're great for this, in like Tom Brown and other wholesalers, is having those wholesale events is a good way of encouraging local networking.
Yeah, definitely. We held one probably a couple of months ago. And yeah, this is the great thing. We held one a couple of months ago, and guess who demonstrated there?
That would be
Nicola
cool.
from Cumbria.
There you go.
Because that's the way. My uncle's really encouraging. He wants to see, in his eyes, the next generation of the industry come through. But I probably think I'm a bit older than that, but he thinks it's time that we start promoting new florists, more, be more excited.
100%.
I think
And we say this even for ourselves, and like we're getting on there as well. There is going to come a time that we are going to be old, in the sense that people won't want to listen to what we have to say. They're looking for that young blood coming through, that are experiencing different things that we don't experience, be it imposter syndrome or shyness or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I do hope that we see more.
we've started planning Florex 2026 already.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's some exciting things happening in the BFA behind the scenes that will probably be announced mid-December. But one of the things we're looking to do at Flourish 2026 is utilise the main space, not just for the international designers, but to have up-and-coming designers, which will be faces you recognise through the BFA people, but it'll be not so established international ones, but people that can really relate with each other and you can ask the questions.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. And for want of a better word, normal, everyday florists who are the retail florist or are the studio florists that are experiencing the same issues that we are all experiencing. It is lovely to see like the fantastic designs, and oh my God, we were blown away with the demonstrations at Florex. Like, they were just fantastic. But I loved the ones that Kerrie did and Karen Massey did and whatever I loved those, but I just felt that they needed a bigger stage.
Yeah, so the Flower Lab
I've been saying this to John for ages.
Yeah.
We'll let you know, Kerrie. But yeah, that's why the Flower Lab was born, Deirdre. I came up with the idea. It was the second year we did it, John, wasn't it? Yeah. So the first year we did it, the idea was just to get retail and studio florists in the room, and the idea was it to be on one level so that you can have that interaction and chat.
It worked really well.
You can ask the questions, get to see the product, and be very much more informal. And it has grown this year. So next year, watch this space, what we do differently.
Absolutely. I'm dying to see it. Like, as I said, this year was absolutely amazing. And it is that case that new florists coming in are afraid to ask the question, or they're afraid to ask, we always say no such thing as a stupid question unless you already know the answer and you're testing somebody else's knowledge.
It's true. I've got asked lots of questions when I was doing mine. I mean, I just did quite commercial work because I wanted to do that, because it's everyday florists. So nothing that's, that they could take back to their shops and sell and do and aspire to. And I thought to myself, they're going to know, they're going to know what I'm doing and not really find it interesting. But it wasn't the case at all. They were asking so many questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? What have you used here? What have you used there? So it was really good, actually.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, even with a hat box, you never stop learning.
No.
There's always new. And I loved how you how you attached the lid to the hat box. I love that. And I recently did a reel of it and it has went viral.
Oh, really? Actually?
Yeah. So there you go.
You're always picking up ideas, even though you think to yourself, oh, everyone knows this. Actually, it's not always the case, is it?
No, absolutely not. And you know what? Even if it works, it may work. It's opening your eyes that just because you've done something the same all the time doesn't mean that one way isn't a little bit better, or maybe not. You pick and choose what you think will work for you in your business. Okay, let me see, who am I going to ask this to? Donna, we'll ask you first. As we're approaching Christmas, tell me, how does, I know we were chatting before we came on to record, but what is it really like? What is this rush up to Christmas really like? And what's the first thing that you're going to be tackling in these coming weeks?
Well, it's been absolute chaos already, as I said earlier. I start in September, just doing basic jobs like wiring ribbon, combs, fruits, just to get prepared. Cut paper. I design all of my own products, so I don't sell from stock images. So everything that I share with my customers or put on my website is because I've designed it specifically for my customers, which I love to do, but it's a very time-consuming job. So it's ordering everything in, pricing it up, taking the photographs, and then having to put it on the website, which is my least favourite part. So this week's jobs left to do are adding it all to my Google account. And then I need to prepare for our late night shopping, which is next week. So our town do a yearly late night shopping event. It's the light switch on. So it is the start of Christmas in Launceston. And I hope to have a very busy evening, serving my customers some mulled wine, getting them to pre-order their products. And then there won't be a day off then until Christmas Day.
Until Christmas Day. Amazing. Yeah, it is. Christmas is, and people think they have, I think the public have this vision, oh, you are making a fortune at Christmas because you are so busy. But like we talked earlier on, and where margins and all are just so much lower at Christmas, and your extra staff and extra delivery drivers and extra hours, you know, but it is the buzz, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is. Kerrie, what do you see as the biggest trend coming up to Christmas? What are you focusing on in your business? Do you do Christmas, or do you focus on workshops? What way do you do it as a studio?
I do both, actually. So I always get my wreath workshops done by the first week of December. Then the second week of December is always my customer wreaths, and then I move on to Christmas stuff. But obviously I've pre-done, I've actually got all my Christmas stuff in at the moment, and doing, like Donna said, I design different arrangements every year. This year, I'm going rustic. I'm going to keep it very simple. So I'm doing a lot of rustic candles, a lot of different colours I'm bringing in. So caramels, chocolate browns. I'm doing lots of rustic wood trays, and I'm just going to keep it really natural. Lots of foliages, berries, cones, not too much flower material this year. I felt like the last 2 years I had a lot of flowers left over. I think I overbought the flowers. So I'm going to cut back on that this year and just keep it really natural. Lots of foliages.
And again, myself and Donna were talking about this before we started. It's so hard to predict, isn't it? It's so hard. No matter how many years, you're 10 years on your own doing this, and you're probably 30 years in your family doing this, and it's still so hard to predict what to buy in.
It is, and even from year to year, it just changes, and you don't know what people are going to buy. You don't know what to buy in, and you're just running around like a headless chicken every year. You feel like you said, you've got 30 years experience, yet you get to Christmas and you feel like you've only just started a week ago. So and I'm sure everybody feels exactly the same. So yeah, it's a lot, but you get through it, and then you learn.
You
learn. And so I've learned a big lesson the last 2 years. I'm not going to buy as much flower. So it's going to be more foliages this year.
Yeah, and we actually saw that trend last year, because I know with our Christmas course, we had a flower-free section on it, and it was all foliages and your fruits and your, your picks and stuff like that, and keeping away from flowers. That there was, obviously easy prep as well, much easier prep beforehand. Nicola, gosh, I'm losing it now at this stage. Nicola, what's the one non-florally item, or the one thing that you absolutely couldn't do without coming up to Christmas? You can't say wine.
Slippers. It's got to be my slippers. I have bought Ugg boots and Doc Martens, and I have tried everything to keep my feet warm, and nothing beats the corner shop's £10 Nana slippers. Nothing.
Yeah.
And I live in them. I go to the shop in my trainers, I swap in for my slippers, and that's me for December. I need to go in the bin on Christmas Eve because they've been absolutely destroyed for a month. But slippers would be my absolute go-to.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, I have a quick fire question for each of you. Normally on these things, people say to you, what's your favourite flower and whatever else. But what I'm going to ask you each is, what is your funeral flower? What flowers do you want for your funeral? Nicola.
My wedding flowers. I want my wedding bouquet turned into a coffin top, and I don't want any other flowers. I don't want any of these little posies and all this other stuff. I just want one swamping huge coffin top of my wedding flowers, which is all spring. I need to die on time because it's all spring flowers. So I want, I got married in April, so if I could
I'm sure John could import them.
Ideal.
I'm sure John could import them for you, Nick.
Well, yeah.
I'll be too upset, Kerrie.
Oh, Lord. Donna, what about you?
Oh, that's a tough one. I am very much a seasonal girl. So I love the change of the seasons. So for me, if I was to pass, I would like a florist to make something just really lovely and seasonal, and don't
Lovely.
have loads of different bits, just one nice spray, like Nicola says, just something wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. You need to be promoting the florist industry, guys. You need to have flowers everywhere for your funeral.
Well, you haven't heard what I'm going to say yet. This is what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kerrie, go on, tell us.
Well, I want loads of flowers, but on the top of my casket, my favorite flowers are stocks. So it has to be stocks, has to be all the scented flowers, roses, freesias, all of that, beautiful foliages. And I want it massive on the top, probably all neutrals, creams, whites, greens. And then I'd like hearts, and I don't know if I want wording or anything like that, the letterings, but yeah, lots and lots of flowers, but tasteful flowers. And
Love it.
Nicola has to do them all.
Who?
Nicola has to do them all. And Nick did this beautiful, stunning swan she made. And I've got nothing associated with swans at all, but I want that. I have to have that.
She told
We're
the
gonna
children
we're
that if
gonna
anything
clip this
happened-
section for like later on. John, tell us, what about your coffin? What are you gonna have?
I'm just hoping I don't die in the same week that Kerrie does, because I want Nicola to do my funeral flowers. I think
I've got a reputation for funeral flowers here, haven't I?
You have.
my whole family are very traditional, and Nicola's work suits my family's sort of. We're very much white double basing with some kind of picture on it or something sort of that resonates with the family. So probably white chrysanthemum. Nicola, can you do a cactus?
Why on earth would you want a cactus, John?
Because a lot of people think I'm a prick.
I already knew the answer. I just wanted to hear you say it.
Oh God, that's funny.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Now, do you know, we say that over here, I don't know what it's like in the UK. You, I think, more because you have more time in the UK for preparing flowers, because in Ireland, if you die today or bury tomorrow. So like in the UK, if you get die today, you may not be buried for 2 weeks. But over here, it's a big trend of no funeral flowers, donations to whatever. But nobody donates. And we're like, you know what? That's the undertakers, because they don't want the hassle of carrying flowers. So I always say to Jeanette, when I die, like Kerrie, I'm freesia. Just that's all I want on my coffin. Freesia, top to bottom. And I want the church or wherever it is. I don't really care where it's a hotel or whatever, because I want it to be a party. I want it done out like a wedding. I want arches. I want candelabras. I want the works. So guys, you better fly over when I die, because a lot of work to be done.
I think we should bring all this back. I mean, I think since COVID, funeral flowers just have one piece. And I think it's really important to, when I worked at my mum's shop all those years ago, we would have at least 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces of work to do for one funeral.
Yeah.
And that has really gone now.
And I think a funeral is very sad with no, a funeral is sad anyway, but I think to see a funeral with no flowers, just a coffin spray.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, and particularly not so much when it's on the coffin, it's on the grave, like where you love to see the whole grave covered in flowers.
Yeah.
Before they actually close it all up and stuff like that. I definitely think it's something that needs to be. Now, that's another job for the BFA, John, to start promoting funeral flowers more.
I get quite a lot. Funerals have been really where I made my name. So, I mean, I've made pork pies and you name it, and I probably made it in flowers. So that is like where my heart is. I absolutely love to do bespoke funeral tributes. Like that's
amazing.
That's my.
Yeah, me and Nick become friends because my mum's background, she had a shop that was only funeral flowers. And I used to show my mum Nicola's work and say, oh, what do you think of that? And my mum's the biggest critique in the world. And she's like, yeah, okay, that is good. I'll give you that. I think it is something we're looking at. And it's the hardest thing is how we contain it within, say, Florex, for instance, how we contain a demonstration using Nicola's spray paint techniques.
Yeah,
how we can do that in an enclosed environment where the hotel will be happy, really. But I do think it's something that people ask for a lot.
I've had quite a lot of requests.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying that Florex this year alone, I had somebody that I met that, well, I'd never met them before, but they were like, oh, I follow you, your funeral work's amazing. Would you consider doing a one-on-one workshop on how to do it? And I was like, that blows my mind that that's just how I work, and people are like, can we have a one-on-one workshop? So yeah, it's something I love to do.
Yeah, the demand is there. You should go for it, Nicola. Do an online one.
Well, I was just thinking that you could do it as a recorded, you could record it because obviously with the spray painting you can't have it in close in close room.
Quarters.
That's it. What's the word? Proximity, that's it. I haven't even had any wine tonight with people.
Maybe this is the problem.
Yeah, I think you might be right. So you could do it, you could pre-record it and have it on a screen or something. Just a thought.
Yeah. Amazing. Be a great idea. Okay, look, it's like we've 10 minutes into 50 minutes for it. Normally these interviews are a half an hour. I'm gonna have to try and screw you down, but I'm sort of thinking Kerrie was the only one that fucked up at the beginning, like, so there's a little bit of editing to be done.
Sorry about that. The nerves got the better of me. I don't know what's wrong, honestly.
The last question I'm going to ask all of you, I suppose, is, and I'll start with you, Donna. What would you like to see more of in the industry over the next 10 years?
Collaboration. Absolutely. I would just love each florist to support the next one and involve them, share the information and support each other. If we're going to survive, that's what we need to do. And just work together, because we've come from all different areas of the country. We've come together and worked at one event, and I'm sure that we will continue to have a friendship going forward because we've come together. You don't have to buddy up with the person in the same town, but to have a support network across the UK is really important, just to be able to pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm doing this, what do you think? And I would just love for that to grow.
Totally.
Brilliant. Love it. Kerrie?
What was the question?
What would you like to see more of in the next 10 years in the industry?
Well, the price of flowers to come down, that would be nice to start with. That's a big struggle. I think the cost of, just the battle with that and supermarket flowers and having to try and compete with that in terms of price and profit. But yes, I'm with Donna as well. I think supporting florists is so important. It's really lovely to have a network, especially when you're working on your own, so you don't feel alone. And having that, just sending a message to someone, like Donna said, is just really important to have that, I think.
Yeah, amazing. And Nicola, what about you? What would you like to see in the next 10 years more of?
Funerals? Makes me think, funerals. Yeah, preferably in country where I can cash in on them. I think events such as the Florex event, where the networking is so important. Like, I've met people in there. I mean, I've done Claridge Christmas for the last 2 years because I met Claridge Flowers at Florex. So events where networking can take place is huge for any little independent business. But also, like Donna said, the flower family, like us guys on this Zoom now are flower families. And we all work alone, so it's really nice to have a staff room almost on a WhatsApp message, and you can say, oh, it's really quiet today, it's been shit, it's been really good, how would you do this if you were making that? And just have that support. So to make more networking links at more events, and like events such as Fleur de Ville, to bring a bit of glassware back to your shop is huge for an independent florist. Your community is so important to support. They're your bread and butter, and when they can see you're doing big things, they want to support you. So events where you can achieve, I guess, is important. Amazing.
Love it. And John, so what would you like to see, like within the wholesale industry as well? Obviously, never mind the BFA on the outside of that.
Wholesale industry, again, I really believe that the wholesale, and it has definitely changed over the last 13 years I've been involved in the industry, but the wholesale should be supporting florists. It should be an ongoing network of how, we earn our money through the florists, so we should be supporting them any way we can, offering advice. And that doesn't have to be your own client base for me. I always think if all it takes is my time and my knowledge, I'm happy to give it away for nothing. And then guess what? You want to use me for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons.
Yeah, love it. Do you know what, guys? It has been just such a pleasure talking to you. I'm sorry that Jeanette didn't get on. I said she's on the WhatsApp at the moment, and but what I will say, and people have said, why are you doing this? And the reason why I wanted to do this was because 60% of our florists are based in the UK. But also, we don't have what you have over here at the moment. And I do think events, and affordable events, like Florex is so affordable. Even for us to fly over and even to stay in the hotel, it is still affordable, and it is actually which we did it in the one day, over and back in the one day this time through no choice of our own. Anyone that is listening to this podcast, I really would encourage you to look at Florex, look at going to the event. You have now met 5 people that when you come to Florex, come and talk to us. We're not ogres. We're actually very open, and we want to, well, I'm speaking for myself, but help you to encourage and become part of an industry that has given my family the life that we have. And I'm not finished yet, but we need new blood coming through as well.
We do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Listen, guys, thanks a million. I've really enjoyed this, and see you all in the next Zoom.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.